Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming Channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series today. Today we're going to be taking a look at the third dungeon in the Dawn Trail expansion, the Skydeep Cenote. Now for the first two pulls, the Skydeep Horror has a circular AoE that you'll just want to move out of. And then each of the arrowheads can do a cone AoE at a random party member. For the next two pulls, again, the horrors have their circular AoEs that they're able to throw out. The Spectre also does a circular AoE around himself that is actually quite large. So if you are able to stun him, then it's best to do that. If you have a white mage who's depleted the stun duration, then you'll just need to move out of this quickly. For the first boss, whenever you pick him up, he'll begin to cast Immersion. This is just going to do party-wide damage. He'll then go to the center of the platform and cast Troublesome Tail. This is going to put a debuff on all party members that will cause the next ability that he uses to be replicated by every party member. So he'll start off with Worrisome Way, which is just going to do a cone AoE in the direction you're facing. So as the timer ticks down, you'll want to look away from everyone so that the cone AoE goes off the platform. He'll then cast Hydra Ring, which is going to do a donut AoE and cause a persistent damaging effect on the outside of the platform, followed by Blowing Bubbles, which is going to just spawn bubbles that will go from the boss to every player. He'll then cast Bubble Bomb. This is going to spawn several bubbles on the platform. He'll follow this with Rolling Current, which is going to move all of the bubbles one space in the direction the current is moving. So find the opening in the areas that the bubbles are going to move to and just stand in that. The safest one is going to be the opening that is off the platform, but this will put you out of melee range. So if you can identify the one that's in melee range, then melee DPS can continue to DPS. He'll follow up with another Hydra Ring and then another Troublesome Tail. So the next ability is going to be mimicked by all party members. This time it's going to be Trouble Bubbles. So there will be bubbles coming from the boss towards party members, along with bubbles going from your party members to other party members. So make sure that you're moving in between all of these. If you're standing too close to the boss whenever they spawn underneath him, then they're very easy to miss and you can get hit very easily, so try to stand at max range from the boss. He'll follow up with another Immersion for party-wide damage. And then another Bubble Bomb. Again, wait for the Rolling Current, see which direction it's going, find the opening. After this will be another Hydro Ring. Followed by another Troublesome Tail. And another Trouble Bubbles. For the next two groups, the Living Rock has a cone AoE, and he can face this at a random party member. Moving into the next area, the Speaking Stone is going to summon multiple groups of adds. First off will be 4 melee units. Each of these can do cone AoEs faced at random party members. Once 2 of the first set is dead, then he'll begin to summon the next group. This one's going to be 4 vessels. They have circular AoEs that they'll throw at random party members. For the second boss, Dynamic Dominance is going to do party-wide damage along with generating a damaging field on the outside of the platform. Mirror Maneuver is going to summon a orb on one side of the platform. The boss will then reposition and cast Thunderlight Burst. He'll aim this at the mirror that is going to bounce it off the mirror onto the orb, which will then cause a large explosion covering half of the platform. So you just want to move to the opposite corner from the orb. He'll then go back to the center and begin casting Ancient Artillery. This is going to mark 2 tiles as damaging fields that will expand in the arrow directions. So you'll just want to stand in the opening for these. Pummel is going to be his tank buster, so mitigate this appropriately. Follow up with another mirror maneuver. This time the Thunderlight Burst is going to bounce twice, so make sure that you're identifying where it is going to finish bouncing at and then reposition into the open spot away from that orb. They'll follow this with another Dynamic Dominance for party-wide damage, before going back to the center of the platform and casting Ancient Artillery once again. This time there will be 3 tiles that will expand with AoEs, so there will only be 1 open tile in the entire field. After the tiles explode, every party member will be marked with a circular AoE that will need to spread out to avoid overlapping. Before doing another mirror maneuver, again there will be 2 bounces, so check for where it's going to end up exploding. Usually it's on the opposite side of the initial mirror. Follow up with another Dynamic Dominance for party-wide damage. And then back to the center of the platform for another Ancient Artillery. There's only going to be one group in the next pool, so you can kill them where they are or pull them to the next area, but each of them can do circular AoEs, so you just want to avoid standing in this. The next two groups will have 2 packers and 2 vessels. The packers can do circular AoEs around themselves, and the vessels could do circular AoEs at random party members, along with 2 stonemasons. These can do large cone AoEs. They are quite thin though, so they are easy to move out of. So we'll bring you to the final boss though. When you begin the fight, he'll begin to cast Stone Carver. This is going to cause him to generate energy in his fists in order. So watch the order that they begin to glow in, and then move to the opposite sides, and then the other one afterwards. He'll then cast Skull Crusher, which is going to do a knockback from the front of the platform. That also puts a circular AoE on all party members, so avoid standing too far to the side or you'll be knocked off, and then spread out after the knockback. He'll follow up with a Maul Work, which is going to cause multiple circular AoEs on the platform. There will be 3 different sets of these before he'll identify a section of the platform that he's going to knock the cube down onto, so you'll just want to move out from in front of this. He'll then do Deep Thunder. This is going to do a group up mechanic that you'll want to stay grouped up as it hit multiple times. Followed by a Ringing Blows. So this is going to do a knockback from the front of the platform, along with the charged fist attacks on the left and right. So make sure you're identifying which side you need to be knocked back to prevent being hit from the fist right afterwards. He'll then cast Wrought Fire, which is going to do a tank buster that is a area of effect, so make sure you're moving away from the rest of your team. Colossal Impact will do a knockback from one of the back corners, so position yourself to be knocked towards the opposite corner and then spread out afterwards to avoid the overlapping the circular AoEs. He'll do another Colossal Impact directly afterwards. This time there will be a group up mechanic afterwards. He'll follow up with Ash Layer. This is just going to do party-wide damage that you'll have to heal through before doing another Maul Work. So you'll have the 3 sets of circular AoEs. And then this time the cube will break into two and go to the opposite sides of the platform, so you'll just need to group up into the middle to avoid this. You'll then have another Deep Thunder, so make sure you're grouping up to split this damage. For another Ringing Blows, so make sure to identify which fist he's going to be slamming with first. Get knocked onto the opposite side, and then alternate sides in between fist hits. Then going into another Rot Fire for the AoE Tank Buster. And then do a singular Colossal Impact. So it'll be a knockback from one of the back corners, and you'll either have the group up AoE or the circular AoEs, so pay attention to which one. And then he'll follow up with another Ash Layer for party-wide damage. He'll then go into the other Colossal Impact. So if you had the group up AoE first, then you'd have the circular AoEs afterwards, or you'll have the circular AoEs first and then the group up AoE for the second one. But this should be it. I hope this helped a couple people out. If it did, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.